Welcome to Texas for the third race of the NAPA XFINITY Series season. I'm Dylan, joined by Mac here today for 100 laps here at Texas, another track that is very fast and tires will get worn out and it could get very spread out. Now, while at Atlanta we were caution free, do I think we're going to see that again? I don't think so today at Texas, but you never know. Anything can happen with TXN and Data starting on the front row. Two drivers that are most definitely going to be threats for wins this season, and they are going to be on the front row next to two Cup drivers. Well, Mac, we jump to you. We head to a race that, well, last race, Atlanta, slightly similar to this track. We had a caution-free race. Now we had the Texas. How do you think this race is going to play out?
We won't deal with the inexperience of the trucks led to several cautions in that race, but this track, it's similar to Atlanta in multiple ways. You've seen through NAPA some history. This has been a very wrecky track like Atlanta, though in Xfinity, Atlanta had no cautions, as you said. So we're gonna see if it stays caution-free, but I think if it stays caution-free, your winner's probably going to 100% be in the top 10.
Yeah, there's some notable drivers starting further in the pack. When you only get one lap of qualifying, you make the slightest error, and you're going to be deep in the field in qualifying, and you have to charge your way up through the field. Cautions tend to help, but just like we said at Atlanta, when we have no cautions, you have to move right away, and we see a lot of passing on these restarts and a lot of chaos, so we'll see how this race ultimately plays out. But let's get to the starting grid for today's race. In row 1, we have TXN next to Data, and then back in row 2, two Cup drivers, Wayside and Mac, back for his third consecutive Xfinity start. Row 3, Sean and Perry, another decent qualifying effort. Row 4, one of Perry's teammates, how about Gino kept in the 38, our truck winner next to Cole. And row 5, making his debut this season in Xfinity, Luke, next to Spend in the 30.
Then in row 6, we have Dan and our defending champion, Dalton. Then in row 7, kind of a shocking qualifying for both of these guys, Sheldon Preed and Mike. In row 8, Bug and our season 1 winner here, Wolfie. Row 9, we have New making another Xfinity star, and Javier. Then rounding out our top 20 is going to be a pair of rookies in Raven Fox and Whitty.
And then we'll jump to row 11 with Sup NASCAR next to Boco Blitz. Row 12, CJ and Next Code. Row 13, how about the 47 of Bella? That's a top 25 qualifying effort. She is ahead of Chase. And in row 14, Jacob and Arctic. And then back to row 15, Flower and NASCAR Sim.
In row 16, an atypical qualifying effort for both of these guys, Scene and Matthew. Then in row 17, we have Noah and Breck Blue. Row 18, we have Redeem and JJO. And then rounding out the field will be the 72 of Jack.
Yeah, a few guys like Scene, Matthew, NASCAR Sim, like all three of those guys last week at Atlanta failed to get a good qualifying effort, and because there were no cautions to help them out, pretty much none of them had a chance to really try and challenge for the lead. But we'll see what happens today. We are ready to get the engines fired here at Texas.
All right, drivers, buckle up and start your engines.
All right, we're ready to go at Texas. 37 drivers are ready to take on an exact 100 laps here today. A track that is notorious for a lot of chaos on these restarts. But just like in the truck race, in my opinion, the way to go is that middle line, that middle-ish bottom lane. But on the restarts, you could practically make any lane work, but I think the bottom is the way to go. These first laps are going to be key. You must grab track position. As off turn 4, TXN and Data, front row, they lead this field to green. Off turn 4 into the tri-oval. Let's get the third race of the season underway. We are green at Texas. TXN gets the slight jump, I believe, off in the 1.
Great start from Pulse there, TXN, and Wayside's going to get shoveled 3 wide immediately, but that's not going to work out, and that's going to shunt Sean. There's been a few guys who take advantage of that started on that outside.
Yeah, Sean did not get going there, tried to make the pass on Wayside. And now Wayside will actually look under pole sitter TXN to get the lead here. He's going to have it at the end of the first lap with the push from Mac and Sean right behind him. Wayside in control after the first lap as they are all bunched up after lap 1. TXN will try and drive it, and ooh, Mac slides up the track. I don't think there was contact. I think just was a little bit too deep on entry. TXN should get the run off the corner here and clear, but will he try and block Wayside here in the 3 and 4 to hold the spot? No, he'll trust his car in the middle, and I think it'll work out for him. TXN will clear for the lead.
Now Sean looking to the outside of Wayside for second. This can work if Wayside get a push here, but the Ford behind, he's going to get a huge run.
Whoa.
What a move from Sean. Just an absolutely calculated move there.
Power move by Sean. TXN doesn't know what lane to cover. Sean now jumps to the bottom looking for the lead in the 9 car. And right to the point. That didn't take long at all. Sean, new leader at Texas. As looks like here in the first 3 laps, we have 3 different leaders here at the end of the first 3 laps. On the lap 4, Sean now in control. Wayside back up to seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that is such an aggressive move, in my opinion, to be pulling out on lap 4. But, I mean, Sean's going to do it. Sean is known to be a very aggressive field driver, when he, especially on these intermediates where he is the best at. He has a win. He has a win here already in the XFINITY Series for a really reason.
Yeah, back to back here. 3 wide in the back. Wayside's going to get a run back on Sean. Inevitably, a lot of draft here down this front straightaway. While these cars are hauling down the front straightaway, you still get a little bit of a tow depending on your exit. Wayside got a good exit, but I don't think he had a good 1 and 2. Sean pulls back away from him, and here comes Dan into the mix here in the 97. Luke 3 wide here, his first Xfinity start of the year, trying to hold off the 97. He will and should clear for 4th. Good start for Luke, and Bug starting to move forward, and seeing some other drivers move forward. There's New in the 52, Wolfie in the 42. How about Raven in the 41 moving up into the 11th position? That's Gino Cap having a good start to his day.
Yeah, now Wayside starting to bark down that back bumper of Sean, but also here comes company Mac and Luke. Possibly in striking distance as Wayside being as inactive as he is, but now Luke to the inside of Mac here for P3. And you already know a young driver like Luke to take the opportunity when he can get it. But that might just set him up to let a 97 of Dan to get by him, as Wayside looking to set up that number 9 of Sean here. Still can't do it, it looks like. But,
Washed up.
It's very tight in turn 2.
Yeah, he washed up the racetrack there, but I think it worked out for him because I think Luke reacted to it, got off the gas a little bit. Mac is able to hang on to that spot. Luke tries to block Data, but that's just not going to work. Data forces his way under. Luke might be able to hang on here. A little bit of a draft with Bug in the 50. He'll be 4th at the line, but Data can drive it in here and take the spot. And that's exactly what he does. Bug as well will also try and take advantage, but still, good start for the truck rookie. As Sean will hold the lead here in front of Wayside. Sorry for that little cut, a little bit of a TV error. Sean out front here, didn't really miss much. Wayside trying to gain on him. Mac in 3rd. 2 Cup drivers trying to run down the Xfinity rookie. And it's going to be a tough task because, I mean, we've had a lot of doubters with Sean, but Sean is still in one of the best cars that there is out here in the field. And, I mean, that's going to carry him a long way. And right now, he's showing a lot of speed in this 9 car. Here comes Mac for second. You know if he gets up to Sean, he's going to race him like he doesn't know him at all because he wants to put his driver to the test. But first, he needs to get to him. Battle for second with Wayside.
Obviously, that 9 is the Sunbelt car himself. Mac also looking for a bushwhack win, especially after the heartbreaker in Atlanta last week. A Texas win could solve all of that misery. And now he's up to second here, looking to run down his own driver. And the man he scouted out himself.
Fly by through the field here. A bit more of the mid-pack guys here. I think that's the 30 of Spend. He's fallen back here. Qualified up in the top 10. It's a tough start to his year because he has fallen back like a rock here early. Dalton's back here. Matthew. And again, the struggles of Arctic continue. Bad race at Atlanta. He isn't moving forward much in this race as well. Nexus Code as well back here. And NASCAR Sim. And we overheard that the 77 JGO parked it for electrical issues. Not sure if we'll get an update of that. As we have a battle for 5th, more Cup drivers trying to move forward. It's Dan making a pass in 97. It's his first Xfinity start of the year. Still maybe trying to get accustomed to these new Xfinity bodies as well. Runs a little bit wide, and Wolfie's going to try and take it 3 wide for 6th, 5th. There's a lot of cars up here battling inside this top 10. Dan will clear Wolfie for 5th, and we'll shut the door on him. But Wolfie might have packed a little bit of air on him, gets a little bit tight. Wolfie gets back to the inside with Luke behind him.
Chase, I think he started deep into the field. He's up here into this top 10 now. I wanted to point that out.
Dan in a bad corner. Wolfie will take that 5th spot and give Luke 6 as well. And hell, Chase might just jump straight up to 7th. Well, as Dan just parked it on entry and couldn't get through the corner. Might be dealing with a tight race car, but trying to stay in front of Data. Data's not going to cut him much of a break, but is going to give him just enough to break to not spin him out. Perry falling back a little bit. Sheldon Preed hanging in the top 20 while he has drifted back slightly. For a rookie, that's still a good run for him. Chase is going to run Luke up the track, but that might be his demise because Data might make it 3 wide and Luke might be able to keep the spot anyways. Still side by side here for what is the 6th position. And Bug up here in the mix as well. There is so much happening at the front, but in the meanwhile, Sean's still in control.
And now Chase is looking bad fast. I think he got a little too overconfident trying to get by that 35 earlier and shoved on the track, almost lost 2 spots doing that, but now will get by that 35, and now we have a battle for 2nd here as Wayside tries to get to the inside of Mac.
Can't do it, and that's just exactly what Sean wants to see now. Wayside plays defense on Bug. I think he knows that bottom lane looks like it's mostly the way to go here early on. While you can make that middle work, if a driver wants the bottom, you want to cover it. That's what Wayside did. He's raced Bug a lot in his career. He knows his moves, but has to keep defending him. Again's going to block the bottom, but Bug's going to pack a little bit of air on him, get him a little bit loose, move him up the racetrack. Bug up to 3rd here early at Texas.
And now look at Chase gone up to 5th now. He is battling Wolfie currently. Well, what was 5th? Lost that battle to Wolfie. Wolfie got it back. But early on in the going, these Sunbelt cars look bad fast.
Yeah, you got the 9, the 44, the 04 Pier, a little bit unaware of where the 64 is at the moment. Started mid-pack. Let's go look for him real quick here. Kind of just running. Honestly, this is a good run for Whitty. This is a mid-pack run for him. Currently running 22nd. That's a solid run for him. So you know what? Yeah, these Sunbelt cars right now, they're putting on a show here early on and running well up here early. And I mean, there's just cars everywhere. 5th on back. I mean, these guys have lost touch with the lead group, but we're only 17 laps in. There's a long time to get up there, but what a mess it is. Raven rookie blending up here with this group. She's had a tough start to her career. Well, she's not having a taste with some of the best to do it. Flower as well. 2 women up here running up in the top 15.
Yeah, we have 2x2 action just ahead of them as Chase is trying to defend a wave of Data and Dan all in his rear view mirror. Trying to hold the P6 position. Dan now trying to check him at the outside, and now Chase gonna get around the inside, trying to get around the 42 of Wolfie for P5. As meanwhile, that top 4 is running down Sean, but now Chase will get by Wolfie for 5th, and he'd be way clear.
Yeah, good job there by Chase. Now 3 seconds back of the leader. If this race continues to get more spread out, I think Chase can definitely run down a few cars ahead of him. But Sean is setting blistering pace. While yes, Mac is able to creep up on him from time to time, no one's been able to make it even a move on him. They've been able to get to his bumper, but then they lose all ground that they had. Sean, 2nd fastest lap as well, 29.408, right behind Wolfie. He has some speed in the early going, and he has shown it. Great performance by a lot of rookies, actually. Chase in 5th, Luke in the top 10, Ravens up here. Gino kept hanging on in the 38. Some great runs early for some drivers that just need some confidence no matter what series you're in, and it's going well for these guys right now. Great showing here early on. Still, though, 21 laps into this race, we have a long way to go.
And we're starting to get more and more strung out. And in that case, if we start getting even more strung out, no cautions happen. Raven way up top of the meanwhile, but no cautions happen. I wonder how these rookies, if they stay up here, will maneuver lap traffic, because once we get deep in this race, it's all spread out. That will become an issue.
Ooh, I just saw Matthew try to split the middle there back in the pack, and I think nearly turned the 70 car a Perry. There was a lot going on back here. Trying to move forward. When you have a bad qualifying effort, there's only so much you can do, but just try and claw your way forward and hope for some luck to go your way. He did it at Atlanta, but I think it's a little bit easier to pass Atlanta. It's a bit wider. Now it's under Boko Blitz. This is for 20th, if I'm correct. Jacob right ahead of him, and Mike still impressing a lot of people right now. 18th is a good run for this team. Sheldon Breed being competitive early, and Cole's hanging tough here in the top 20. Solid run for him as well. But back at the front of the field, I thought we weren't having a battle, but Mac has ended up getting the best of Sean here, up to his back bumper. But just like multiple times already today, Sean just pulls a gap. Will it happen again, or will Mac say enough is enough and make a move on his driver?
Let's see, because Mac, I think, will test this guy, because I mean, he's racing for wins out here. That's all he's really doing with these whacking starts, is racing for the win, and he's obviously not gonna, well, if it's the race end of the situation, obviously he'll defend for his teammate, but well, it is lap 24. I think it's worth battling for the lead right now.
Yeah, these four have checked out. 2 regulars, 2 cup drivers here have checked out from the rest of the field, and I mean, it's kind of hard to gain on this group when the guy in 5th is constantly being pressured by the guy in 6th, so I see this top 4 being the 4 for a while. I mean, hell, genuinely, if it gets to a situation where it's like Atlanta, this thing goes green to the end, we might already have our guys going at it for the end here. Wayside, back up to 2nd here, it looks like, around Mac. And again, just you saw him get up to Sean, but Sean is just so tough in the corners and just, they can't keep up with him. Sean having a career day right now here. And I mean, if this race goes on long enough and guys like this stay grouped together, it's going to be tough back here. Nexus Code, abysmal run right now, same as Arctic. Guys just, they need some help, and they might need some cautions that they're not a part of to move themselves forward, because right now it's a struggle. I mean, Jacob started, or not, my bad, not Jacob himself, but this 05 car itself started on the pole at Atlanta, has barely been able to crack the top 20 today. Just, I mean, when you come to the racetrack, you know right away in practice or qualifying if your car's going to be able to keep up with the guys up front. But, I mean, it's all about making adjustments, but when this race just continues to stay green the whole time, it's kind of hard to make adjustments. You kind of just got to deal with what you got till a caution comes out. Maybe you could try and make some adjustments, but right now that's just not happening. Sean's still out front. This top 4, that's keeping him in check, and I'm watching 5th. It's stayed at around 3.5. I'm not seeing that decrease, which isn't a good, but it isn't a bad thing either. It's just, need to start moving forward, because once we get in the lap traffic, that is where we're truly going to set some drivers apart from everyone else and who's going to have a chance to win this race.
You've already seen the distance that I'm pretty sure that number 47 of Bella coming up in the distance. Will be lapped here in a couple laps.
Yeah, they had a great practice ahead of like 5 or 6 cars, which is great for that team. Then went out and qualified 25th, one of the first cars out on track. And just went out and had a good qualifying effort. I mean, for this team, even if they don't have the full-on race pace, that's still a lot of progress for this team. Because even if they're not showing the full-on race pace, if they can show in single-car runs and qualifying and practice that they can show some speed, then maybe the race will go their way. Maybe there'll be a race where there's some accidents and they can gain some free spots. And this 47 team trying to make it work, but right now, best thing to do is, I mean, you could fight to stay on the lead lap, but if you're not going to have a chance to, most drivers would concede. But when you're the first lapped car and you have such a big gap to the next one, maybe you can concede. But these drivers here, they fight for every spot no matter what. Bella will try and block the bottom, but Sean should get a good run here and take that spot. Yeah, Bella won't put on much of a contest. What a showing for Sean right now. Out of the 31 laps so far, he's led about 25 of them. So great start for the rookie so far.
He's starting to get some assistance now with these other 3 behind him, starting to battle for the 2nd through 4th bracket. And if that keeps happening, Sean's just going to build and build this gap, because he has definitely got the fastest car on race pace, at least as of now.
Yeah, Wayside will try and get under the left car. Will do that. You see Wolfie begin to put a little bit of a gap on the group that was with him. Data, Chase, CJ, Dan and Luke still in the top 10, trying to set himself apart from that group just a little bit and try and maybe gain 3.4 still. It looks like he's gaining, but no, the gap is still practically the same, but I do think he's gaining on 4th. While he might not be gaining on the leader, I do think he's gaining on 4th. So if he can maybe catch a toe, if things go wrong for the drivers up front, I think Wolfie has a chance here, but 33 laps in, it is really feeling like Atlanta last week, last race, where we just went straight to the end. Ooh, wayside, way up the track. That is not going to work out for him. That's just a human error right there. Maybe try to step it a little bit more. Maybe try out another line, see if it works out, but it just didn't go his way at all. Now Mac right back to him.
Yeah, that 42 of Wolfie has a win here. Season 1 Texas passed Inshaw with a few laps to go in that race through lap traffic, by the way, which is going to be important here. If these guys struggle through lap traffic, that 42 will be dangerous because he has won using lap traffic to his advantage.
Yeah, 2.8. That's the lowest we've seen the gap from 1st to 5th. Since about lap maybe 10 or 11, he is making progress and got around the 47 quite easily. And again, I mean, we still have some battles mid-pack that could produce a caution, but I'm just not seeing it right now. I mean, if you're someone that watches the Truck Series and then heads to this series and wonder, hey, what is so different about the Trucks Xfinity Series? Well, the trucks have a lot more drag that keeps the trucks closer together. Yes, there is also less experienced drivers in the field, but it's more of a bit of an even playing field. But here in the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series most of the time, it gets spread out quite early. I think the Xfinity Series sees the most spread out of all 3 series due to, I think, the skill in the equipment gap is the biggest in this series. You see the faster cars have the most speed, but usually a lot of times the back market guys, they just struggle to hang on in a series like this. But I think this is the series that has the most spread, and that's why you see less cautions. And I mean, that's why qualifying is so important. You've seen these guys like Chase move forward, but other than Chase, NASCAR Sim's still in the back, Nexus Code is still in the back. I mean, Matthew, we haven't said his name yet. Just drivers that can run top 10, top 5, but when you qualify that far back, you're not going to get there. You're going to need some cautions to help you out, and this is the series that I think we're going to see the least cautions due to how much spread there tends to be, and we've seen little to no errors so far as well, and I mean, we're getting spread apart, and Sean is just straight up running away. Sean is making this no contest, and we're not even halfway. Sean is making this no contest.
Absolutely, I do see though that 42. That 42 might be the problem for Sean. He is caning pretty quickly on these guys. And as I said, he has 1 year before using lap traffic to his advantage. And we haven't really gotten to the bulk majority of that lap traffic. If we go back to Season 1 in Xfinity, his 2 wins were at Texas and Bristol 2, which are some of the... But Texas, I obviously mentioned lap traffic thing, but obviously Bristol has lots of lap traffic. You have to maneuver traffic very well to have a shot at the win there. And in that race in Season 1, of the playoff race, he absolutely owned the 3rd stage because he could just maneuver traffic in ways that nobody else can. And I still think to this day, in the current Xfinity Series, Wolfie is one of the best at maneuvering lap traffic because, like I said, he can maneuver it in ways no one else can, and he is very aggressive. If a lap car is giving him problems, he will force them out of the way, and he has little to no regard for that.
Luke passing the 47, still hanging on in 11th. Not a pass for position, but can't give any more flowers to how good his first start has been this year. Sean's going to catch the 72 car, and still we're seeing just lap cars are just by themselves. No groups yet. I think we will see groups if we stay green, but right now just Sean's going to jump to the bottom. 72 will give him a lane, and Sean will get to his inside here and should make the pass pretty easily. And while that did definitely affect his lap time slightly, no matter what, if you're passing car, your lap time will slightly be slower. But again, lap car is just letting the leaders race. 72 has a gap to the 4. There are a few laps where a caution could come out, but I mean, it's starting to get to a point to where Sean's gonna maybe even just need a caution to have a chance of losing this lead. I mean, this rookie is just lap after lap, just barely letting anyone gain on him. I mean, we see some guys get to maybe a half a second, but that's about the most. Wayside, he's looked quick here these last few laps. He's cut this gap down. He's running faster laps than Sean right now, but Sean just has great pace, and I think Wayside here is a bit better here through 3 and 4 as well. Might have jinxed him a little bit here because Wayside's starting to make some headway towards this 9 car. We haven't seen a pass for the lead since everyone was still bunched together, so it's been quite a bit here. Now we're just kind of playing the waiting game on if we'll see a pass for the lead here. Let's go a little bit deeper in the field.
Atlanta, the 000 shouting free here. Good run for this organization. 00, obviously was not even a team. It was a one-off start for New and Needham to originally start off, but end of last season they ran some trucks with Whitty and actually had some pretty decent results with Whitty. They had a top 20 and 2 top 25s, which is very good for a Batman organization. They weren't working with very much. Still aren't working with very much to start, but if they can get some good results, I wouldn't be shocked if maybe this 00 could be our next big ascension from back marker to front runner.
Yeah, this group is a little bit further away from 10th place, so the top 10 is basically all settled right now, but this is a battle for 11. Shells and Pre takes 11 from Flower. New just struggling a little bit. Top 15 isn't bad, but it's not great either. Just kind of running around, and I mean, if you're even someone like even Flower, but mainly these rookies, I mean, these are rookies all around the 52 right now. There are rookies all over the place. Yeah, literally, other than Flower, these are all rookies racing with this 52 of New. I mean, for a rookie, you're racing around a cup driver. It gives you some good experience. You know, you can kind of see how he races, try to adapt to him a little bit. So, I mean, it's a good experience for these guys. And, hey, the 00 is outrunning the 52. The 35 was outrunning the 52 for a good portion of this race. So, guys are putting it on to these cup drivers. And we're literally seeing a rookie who's led practically this entire race. He's going to lock up most laps led very soon, which does give you 1 bonus point. But, again, just some drivers struggling.
It's 3.
I did not know that. I thought it was 1. But, either way, still, bonus points is bonus points,
Yeah,
and when you
led is 4 points.
and when you head 2 here as Noah gets left, when you head 2 here in the later portion of the year, if Sean doesn't have a win, if it comes down to 1 or 2 points to make the playoffs, he'll look back at this race. Let's just say he doesn't win, where he led the most laps led. He makes it in by a point or so. Him leading the most laps will give him that 2 to 3 point edge that he wouldn't have had. Sean is just putting it on right now. I mean, there's just nothing saying it. I'm curious, though, if this 42 can get around. Bug for 4th. There's a lot of contact. Up the racetrack, they both go. Bug is not going to be happy with that. Wolfie tried to get in there. Well, there goes their chances of having a chance to win if we stay green. That just ruined any opportunity they had. Their odds of winning now are now going down on all the Vegas betting sites. Wolfie just drove it in there, and Bug, I'm not sure if he contested much at all, or if, I don't know if Wolfie just drove it in too deep, but they just lost a good second there. Yeah, they lost a second on 2nd and 3rd. I'm sure Bug is not going to be happy, and I'm sure Wolfie's not happy either, because I'm not sure if Bug didn't give him a lane or if Wolfie just messed up, but that's something we might have to look at here a bit later if we're in a bit of a stalemate, see what led to that. But now Wolfie, all the work that he did to run down this top 4, now has to do all over again, and took him about 20 laps. It's going to take him about maybe another 20, in my opinion, to get back to him.
I mean, like I said earlier, Wolfie is an aggressive driver. He does not care who you are, and if you're taking too long to let him through, he will force his way through. And I think that is what happened there. Bug wasn't getting out of his way quick enough, so he decided to do it for him. And I mean, Wolfie has made several people mad before. We already know he made we already know he's had his problem with Javier last season. His aggressive driving makes people mad, but well, it's just a product of how he races.
I mean, this gives major Atlanta vibes. Just running around here, just few battles on track, but I mean, what a testament to these guys here. You know, the upper level guys that you're going out and watching this series and seeing these guys being able to have these green flag runs. For For the fans at home, they might think this isn't good, but for the drivers and the teams watching this race over here, looking and being like, these guys are capable of, not making mistakes and keeping this race green. And on a fan standpoint, it might not seem great, but as someone, like a crew member, a team member, an owner itself, or one of the drivers, even the ones in this race, they're seeing this race go green and they're like, hey, these are drivers that we can maybe look at in the future, knowing that they may not cause many issues because of how much green flag running we've had here in the Xfinity Series. I mean, this is new levels of green flag racing that we have seen in this series. This is just new levels of green flag racing. This series usually sees its fair share of cautions, but this is something new that, frankly, me and Mac in the booth are also just straight up not used to. These guys going green for so long, and I mean, still a lot of battles on the track, but it comes down to pure race pace when these green flag runs happen, and Raven's beginning to fall back a little bit in the clutches of Boko Blitz, Jacob, and this group, and so you have this green flag run going on here. Race pace will come into effect, and we'll see if maybe at the end of the race Sean falls off. We'll see if someone else, maybe 4th, 5th, or 6th, runs down the leaders. We'll see who has the most pace here at the end of the race here as we're past halfway.
Yeah, Mac is kind of back within a second. I mean, we haven't seen a move made on that 9 all day, basically, since he's taken the lead. But, yeah, Bug took back 4th from Wolfie. But with the group of light traffic, maybe if they're still within a second, that 44 and that 51, this could get interesting, especially because Sean has only had to navigate single cars so far. And now look at what he might have to navigate next.
Yeah, it's Breckblue up ahead. He's hung on for a good bit of this race. Nice shot for him. Javier in the 2 coming up next. I mean, yeah, this is new territory. He might catch cars that, might be racing side by side, and he's going to have to figure out what lane does he go in to try and make the pass. Does he stay behind a car and hope that the other car clears? I mean, we saw at Atlanta, Mac lost the win because of a left car. So now Sean has to enter this situation where he's like, okay, the 5's out of my way, but what if the 2 has a bad corner and the 5 catches him, then they're side by side? How does he play this? So you have to get by these guys as quickly as possible, because then you also have to bring up the scenarios. We have a car off the pace. Redeem is off the pace. This could bring out a caution if he does not make it back to pit road, though he is keeping pace here on the apron. Ooh, these guys have to check up here a little bit. Some of these guys that are running right around that white line, they don't like to see a car down there. Redeem, I think, will make it back here. Here comes Mac with the run up top. I think Sean struggled with the 5 car. Mac has a huge run. He's going to take it. I think Sean has locked up most laps led. He's saying, you know what? You've had your fun, rookie. Leave it to the big guys.
Yeah, I did a dirty air off Breck.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. And yeah, there goes Mac to the lead and Wayside right to second.
Yeah, Sean came over the radio, said the 5 put a block on him, and he got tight and lost all of his ground in 3 and 4 the previous lap. Breckblue's going to fight for his lap, and I mean, why wouldn't you? Look at all the cars right ahead of you. If you get lapped, there's going to be cars that are going to get lapped just another lap later. You have to fight for every spot you can. You never know what's going to happen. We saw the 10 off the pace.
Pretty badly off the pace, because I thought that 30 was in the top 20, top 25 most of the day. That 30 is falling off big time. I think that 30's got an issue.
Sean back under Wayside for a second. Now Mac under Breckblue. We'll see. You never know. What if Breckblue is a better corner? You can see Breckblue. He's hanging with that 44 car. Pretty much kind of a carbon copy of what happened to Sean. Breckblue putting up a fight. He has experience racing with these guys before. Now he's going to try and... Sean is going to try and get back into that lead. Can't do it, and this is where I'm sure Wolfie was thinking, if that didn't happen with the 50 car, he'd be right here as well, same as Bug, but now Wolfie's back to 7th. Maybe a little bit of damage that might be terminal, and now, ooh. Oh man, set a pick. Wayside used Javier as a pick. And Sean might be a little bit less experienced with that. Wayside Cup driver, he knows how to use these slow cars to set them as a pick. Use them as their own personal blockade, and now Wayside straight to the bottom. But now will Mac try and use Spend as a pick, or will Spend get in the way of the 44? Ooh, what will Spend do? He's going to give the 44 the top. Oh, but Spend drives it in! And Wayside to the point. Spend wants to keep his lap in. Mac will fall to 3rd, but now here comes Sean. He's going to try to use Spend as a pick. He's gonna try and use what he just learned from Wayside. He's gonna now try and use it on him, and it's gonna work here. I think if Spen washes up here. Oh man, no, these guys can't shake each other, and Spen's fighting his hardest to stay on the lead lap. I don't know who's gonna come out of this with the lead. Sean is ahead at the moment, but Wayside might get a run here. Oh no, he had to get off the gas. Might have been a little bit of dirty air from the 30. Sean back to the lead.
Yeah, what a battle we might have here. And yeah, last traffic definitely causing issues. And now Sean can try to get the inside of Spen. But I think Sean's going to get really tight, possibly.
Oh.
Never mind. He hangs it on that wide line. Might be able to finally get by this 30. But here comes Mac right behind and Wayside. He cannot shake these two.
Yeah, did you see how low Sean exited that corner? Like, he was barely on the throttle there. Spen was just putting a block on him, and if you're Sup NASCAR, you're like, hey, keep doing this, but now Spen is gonna lose that free pass. No, he's still in the free pass, but he's gonna lose being on the lead lap here. Give it up to Sean in the 9, Mac in the 44, and Wayside still trying to make the pass, and fourth on back, it's an absolute cluster here. They're still battling. See a little bit of a dent on that left side of Bug's car, but also good, but I'm not sure if we can pan away from that right now, because we still have a battle for the lead, and we don't want to miss it.
Especially because we have lap traffic, and actually there might be bigger problems. We got a huge cluster of lap traffic after some NASCAR. Oh, is that a bump and run from, is that a little air packing there from the 44 and Mac on it?
Oh, man.
Stuck by the 89 some NASCAR, but Sean's going to throw the block on his team owner, trying to get around the 89 machine, but they may not get out of some NASCAR this time around. Yeah, no, some NASCAR's going to stay. Oh, no. Can't clear the 9. Sean might have something here into the entry.
Man. Now Wayside's back into it just like that. Wayside lost about a half a second. The 89 held them up for 2 corners, and just like that, right back in. Now Sup NASCAR wants to even get up behind. Want to catch the toe of these guys up ahead. Usually when they react like that, I tend to think there was a wreck in 3 and 4, but no, that was just Sup NASCAR trying to get right back in line. All so good here at the front of the field. We're getting down to it here. Lap 67 here. We only got 34 laps to go in this one. And I mean, we still got a long way to go here. Cautions could still happen, but I mean, when it comes to what we saw at Atlanta, it's looking to be the same thing, but just a way more intense battle for the lead, in my opinion, because the left cars are just not getting out of the way. Bella's already leapt down. She's not going to put up any fight, but when they can, I mean, these guys have ran away from the leaders due to what happened. They are trying their damnedest to keep themselves away. I mean, soon, looking at the leaderboard, they're going to catch someone that almost won last race. Dalton, he's running 22nd, having a poor run. I mean, Mike had a good run at Atlanta last race. Some of these guys that tend to have great runs are in danger of getting lapped, and I mean, that's what happens when we have long green flag runs. That's going to happen. Even the best of the best sometimes just can't keep up, and they inevitably get lapped. This is a group of 5, maybe 6 cars if Redeem, who's back on track after his issue, goes another lap down. But Sean, I can't say enough about this rookie. I've been giving him slack. I haven't been very fond of him, but you know what? He is changing the tides right now of this whole organization. And he is trying to outduel his team owner, and I mean, if it gets down to it, I know Mac will want to steal the win from his driver, because Mac is obviously knowing that his driver is capable of winning, so I don't think he minds stealing one from him, but he has to take it from him. Sean has put up ultimate defense, but will mess up just slightly there, but Mac couldn't really hold the bottom as well. Here comes Wayside.
Yeah, well, Wayside looking at the outside. I wonder if they're going to hold off for a little bit, because I see this group battling. I wonder if they can maybe hold off for a little bit, try to catch this group, so that way they don't get caught up in these guys battling.
This is a mess.
Really off the pace of that issue.
Yeah. Went over the radio of Redeem's crew, and they said we are down a cylinder, just trying to hang on. We could keep up in the turns, but down the straightaway we have no power. So Rough start to the 10 to redeem. You see him not going to put up any contest. You can see that lack of power down the straightaway. Mac drives it in. He'll take that spot as well, but redeem down on power in that 10 car. Big group here. That's Nexus Co. There. I mean, we have 3 winners from last season all being left. This is how competitive this field is.
Yeah, and actually a Sunbelt car here in Whitty. This could get interesting here for Wayside, who's already struggling a little bit with the flat traffic, and maybe could have the final down.
Through the middle!
It's Sean gonna split the
Oh my
middle.
goodness, that was not a good move in my opinion. No, it might work. He kind of backed up the middle of the corner, but NASCAR Sim's gonna put a block. He's kind of half passing Whitty, but half also putting a block. Now, what is Sean gonna do? NASCAR Sim does not have a good corner.
Oh, he got back boxed.
Oh, man. Now, Whitty, I understand it's a teammate, but you want to fight for the spot. What a mess here. Now, Mike trying to hang on to his lap. I don't know if any of these guys are going to fire, if they're going to let him have it. Sean around this entire group. That might be what sets him apart from the rest of the field if they can't get by. Caution is out. Who gets the free pass? Caution is out on the racetrack. There is trouble somewhere. Our cameras are looking for it. It's Wolfie.
Oh, Wolfie.
Caution is out. We're going to have a restart. Who gets the free pass? They give it to Mike. That's how important the free pass is. And I'm not going to say it, but was there payback? It could have easily have been someone else, but was there payback? Oh my goodness. What a battle we had in. Oh, Boca Blitz might have been collected. Caution is out. Some guys are very lucky to keep their lap here, and we are messing up under caution. This is going to take out more cars. Oh, man, what is going on here? Big trouble. Honestly, I won't lie. This is not the first time we've seen wrecks under caution this season, and it's going to take out Luke in the 35, Flower in the 3. What has gone on in Atlanta? Spend in the 30. I'm not sure if there was a separate wreck or if this was all a part of the whole ordeal with the 42. We will find out. Let's take a look at what happened.
Let's take a look at what happened here as Spend and Javier battle hit a Wolfie. Wolfie deep drive. Spend makes contact with Javier, lets off, and just doesn't give Wolfie any room. You just can't do that at all. Gotta be smart on that as a lap car. And Wolfie starts, Wolfie, huge damage to the back end. Surprised he didn't take him out of the race, but, for Spend, gotta be smarter than that. And I'm sure Wolfie's gonna have some choice words for that 30 machine. But as we continue here, let's go on to what happens under caution. As still on board the 30, and they're lining up here in the turn 3 and 4, single file, to start pacing. I think there's fluid on the track or something. The 404 hits then Spend hits CJ, and then a huge stack up of a lot of rookies, a lot of good cars getting torn up. Flower, Luke, Cole, Gino, I think Sheldon Creed was in there. Gino Kemp was involved. Lots of cars getting torn up. And I'm sure there's going to be more than a few people not happy with that 30's driving.
Yeah, just a mess here, and you can see Wolfie getting back going. Heavy damage roll on the 42. Not his fault, but, I mean, he made a mistake earlier, and now he'll have to deal with his mistake. We'll take another look.
And in a separate manner, there's Boca with 54
Yeah.
fuel issue during this caution.
Caution's out at this point. CJ kind of gets off the gas. Gets by the wreck cleanly. And then we pan just slightly more forward, still on board here one more time. Reporting fluid on track. You see like the little bumps on the backstretch that might have been from debris. Slight checkup with Chase. That won't do anything, but then this will do stuff. Breck Blue slight damage. That shouldn't impede him too much, but then behind him, again, just one more look at the stack up. Our pole sitters involved. Luke had what a great day he had. I feel so bad. That was none of his doing. I mean, Funny enough, this isn't the first time we've had a crash under caution this season in the Xfinity Series. But in general as well, not the first time we've seen a crash under caution in NAPA in general. We see them quite a bit, honestly. Drivers racing back to the caution, just sometimes make an error. It's not as uncommon as you think, but took out some decent race cars. We'll be back for the restart.
So, while under caution, NAPA officials have told Spend that he is parked from the race, and that they have told him to visit the officials hauler immediately.
Yeah.
You never really see that type of action from officials, so I'm wondering what's about to potentially go down post-race.
Yeah, Wolfie is also out of the race, same as Luke. That sucks for him. None of his own doing. And Boca Blitz, the car blew up under caution and lost power. Parked it, gearbox issue. And also JGO retired earlier with a piston issue. Mike will get the free pass. That'll leave 21 cars on the lead lap, but looking back, I'll show you in a second on this restart, that 7 car I've seen is very damaged. So we only have about maybe 15 or 16 cars that are actually practically on pace here. We'll give a quick look at that 7 car. No hood on the 7, but still on the lead lap. We are back underway. Wayside right away looking for second. Can Sean hang on for the final 20 laps? We're back underway.
Wayside aggressive maneuver. Looks like they're going to all get by that 44 back here. And we might see a breakaway happen extremely quickly with how many damaged cars there are now. And that 44 is just getting freight trained.
Oh, here comes Data. Man.
Inside a Wayside here for the second spot. This has opened the door for some guys like Chase, Data, and Dan to try and potentially go for this win. As we're side by side still, 3 into 1 and 2. Off the exit at 2, Data and Wayside still side by side. Not giving an inch to each other, but I think Wayside's gonna win the battle.
And Sean is like, just let me run away. Oh man. Here comes Dan now, drives in. Mac is now struggling on the high side. He's going to get up a bit of a runoff exit. 20 to go in the NAPA XFINITY Series of Texas. We still have quite a bit to go. Fly by the field here. There's Breck with a little bit of damage. Some guys off the pace here, losing time. We'll see if they get left before the end because of their speed. We'll see. Talking about minimum speed, Redeem was able to make it, so he's still good despite his issues early in the race, but I mean, looking at these damage cards back here, we're not sure how NAPA Sim's going to play it. They're a bit more lenient on intermediates due to it being easier to pass, but I'm unsure. There's Flower. She's trying to hang on to whatever she got with her damage, but it has put new players into the top 5. Not as much the top 10, but it's put new players into this top 5 like Data and Dan. Mac will clear for 4th. He is not trying to let this one slip away from him.
And I think these two slowly kind of trying to run down Sean. They are running down Sean. Not trying to, not bad. They would be in fact trying to run down Sean. They want this win, obviously. As we do a flyby on the field here. A lot of torn up cars further on back. I think that 7th scene is probably on pace, just barely though.
Yeah, he's hanging on here with only 18 laps to go. I mean, Redeem is way off the pace. Boko Blitz still on pit road, but he is out of this race. He climbed out of his car. The crew just kind of left his car there. So obviously, a lot of anguish in that 54 team because everything that Boko Blitz has tried to do to get his first career win. I know he wasn't really on pace today, but a mechanical failure is not usually what you see in this series, but for a team as strong as SW Motorsports to be having a mechanical failure, I'm sure Boca Blitz is not happy. Arctic has also struggled as well, same as New, so it's been a one-man show for SW so far, but honestly, it should have been a one-man show all around. Sean has held the lead with pressure, but there's no left traffic now. We might get the 10, we might get the 47, we might get the 7, but we are practically good to the end when it comes to big clunks of traffic. So can now Sean do what he did in the first half of the race and put a gap on until the left cars came into effect? And if he can do that, he's going to hang on and get his first win of the year. That's Chase now getting up into the 3rd position here. What if he makes a charge here late? Got a tiny bit of rear damage, contact with CJ, but what if he gets up here in the end? I mean, he's been mediocre all day, kind of top 10-ish, but we expect more out of him. Now he's up into the 3rd position, or at least trying to take 3rd. I think that 44 car is just not as good on the short run. I think they're more of a long run car. We'll see if it comes in before the end of this race, but I mean, there are just a lot of cars that are somewhat off the pace or just completely off the pace. They're just trying to make it to the end. Sean, if he can manage about, at best, at the absolute minimum, a half-second gap, then nothing's going to happen. But if he lets Wayside continue to just barely just grab a tenth or so each lap like he's doing, he'll be there before the end. So Sean needs to pick up the pace just slightly because Wayside's only here for wins. He does not care about our regulars. He's only here for a win, nothing else. Second would be a disappointment.
Yeah, as is the case with many bush tractors, and I think it might be down to these two as Chase and Mac have bogged each other down in that battle for third.
Yeah, Bug's still hanging on here. Data. Dan has had what some would say an uncharacteristic day. In my opinion, I disagree. Xfinity Series for Dan has kind of been like this. Never really has the quickest car, but can definitely compete. Running up here in the top 10, good run for him. And again, this is all the way fourth on back to 10th, so our top 10's looking pretty much settled here. Unless if someone like maybe Gino kept running in 11. What a great day for him. I mean, this is the third MP car. This is the third MP racing car. Perry and Redeemer are the other two, but this is the third car. Not necessarily part-time, but they do run a few different drivers. And Gino Kep's been the class of the three all race long. Our truck winner having a great run so far here as they continue to race. Now third on back here. Mac trying to hang on. Data's trying to claw in and take that spot. He gets to the inside of Mac. I mean, Mac just doesn't seem to have the pace he did right before the caution came out. Now he seems to be under pressure from these other guys. I don't know. Sure, Mac is furious on the radio because he's like, where did our speed go? Data clear for third. If he decides to take it, he will.
Now clear for that third position.
Yeah, Redeem is well off the pace.
Shadows of Sean.
Yeah, Redeem is well off the pace. Sorry to interrupt. Redeem is well off the pace, but they are letting him go. He is well off the pace. There's Bokablitz again. 2 seconds off the pace doesn't seem slow, but when you're a leader like Sean, who is just absolutely taking control of this race, a driver that's going 2 seconds slow, slightly impeding you, will give Wayside the perfect opportunity to pounce. If Sean gets by the 10 car with ease, I think it's over. That's just my personal opinion. But it depends on where he catches him. This is a good spot to catch him right here. That's the absolute perfect spot you can catch him. Great job by Sean. He'll get by Redeem quickly. Can Sean run away and keep this win, or can Wayside do something about it here in the closing laps?
We're going to see here. I don't think there's going to be any more lap traffic by the seams of it.
Wayside caught Redeem in a great spot as well. He gained that lap. I think Sean had to check up just slightly in the tri-oval to get by Redeem, and that might have cut off just a tiny bit. 0.8, it's down to 0.5, so yeah, he will definitely be there if he keeps that up, but I mean, yeah, I think the 5 is good, and he made minimum speed. I think it's just all about here, just running the laps he's been able to run all day, but Wayside's gaining. Mac was gaining a little bit too, but I think he's just too much in the clutches of this group back here. I just think this group back here is too threatening. But Wayside, he's got no pressure from the drivers behind him. He only has to focus on the one in front of him. Sunbelt Starts is yet to close out a victory other than the 500 for SM. But they have had so many more opportunities in all three series to take a victory. They just haven't been able to do it. Will it happen again as Wayside to the inside of Sean?
Yeah, an SW and a bushwhack driver for SW trying to hand another heartbreaker to Sunbelt. Side by side off of turn 4. Wayside has been in the better exit, it looks like. And Wayside has the lead for the first time since, I think, lap 4. No, lap 1.
He might have snuck a lap in during that lap car battle, but no, either way, he has at most maybe 5 laps led while Sean is dominated. Big run back on the high side. He's going to side draft. Mac isn't out of this. Mac is not out of this because these two are going to maybe not keep racing side by side. Wayside is clear. Now Mac is like, hey, if you're going to lose this, then I'm going to take control. Sean might be in jeopardy. Here comes Mac for second. Can Wayside hang on? We're going to have a 3-car battle here with 5 to go.
Let's see here. Sean gonna fight her. He's gonna let his team owner through. It looks like he's not gonna wave his team owner through, and that is the best thing for this 51 machine to possibly hand another haymaker to Sunbelt Operations in the lower series.
Yeah, Wayside off the corner here is going to get to 4 laps to go. If these two keep battling, it's over. But if they are able to figure it out here and just kind of get into a rhythm here, just follow each other, at least guarantee one of them winning. But I just don't think that's going to happen. These guys take every opportunity they have here. And, you know, Mac, he wants to win just as much as anyone in any series. But Sean's going to put a block on him. He's got to run on Wayside as well. He jumps to the bottom. But Wayside's going to cover just enough to have Sean get off the gas just slightly. But can he get the run at 3 to go?
3 laps to go here. Let's see. He gets something into turn 1.
Oh, awful corner.
Oh, no. Sean, a horrible corner. And now Data's into the picture. Bug and Chase and Dan even.
I don't know what happened to Sean. I think he went into turn 1 side by side with his team owner, and I think just drove it in maybe too deep and had to get off the gas. Just ruined everything he had. It's not over, though, because here comes Data. 2 to go at Texas. Will we make it? Oh, Data! Bump and run to Mac! Moves him out of the way! Data runs Mac out of the way, saying, I want this win! Mac in trouble! Here comes Bug for 4th! Data taking the aggressive route to try and steal a win! I don't blame him. You're an Xfinity regular, Mac is not. If you want this win, you have to get him out of the way.
I'm going to interrupt here because of the white flag. Brett Blue might become a problem.
I'm not sure, but either way, it's between Wayside and Data. Can Data grab a run? Here comes Bug up to 3rd. All 3 of them actually. There's Chase right there. None of them are gonna come on top today. Will it be Wayside? Will it be Data? I think it's gonna be Wayside. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. There goes Breck Blue. There goes Wayside. And off turn 4. Wayside's gonna get SW. A win. Wayside wins at Texas. What a finish there at the end as we watch the rest of the field come by the line. Some damaged, some others off the pace, some have just never had a chance since the start. And unbelievable way to end this one. Mac right on the bumper of Data, not showing his appreciation, but Wayside comes on top here today. With Data in 2nd, how about Sean leading the most laps and coming home in 3rd? He has proved a lot of doubters wrong. Let's take a look at the finishing results for today's wild race at Texas. Let's take a look at the standings, the official results here from Texas. Wayside gets a win here for SW Motorsports. That's the 2nd Bushwhack win of the year for Xfinity. So still Bug stands alone as the full-time winners club. Data comes on 2nd. Sean, I mean, it's just a thing. It's not just Mac. It's all the Sunbelt cars. Sean will come home 3rd, but led the most laps by far. What a great showing for him. Bug comes home 4th, and Mac comes home 5th. Just a bitter ending there after having a chance, but, I mean, the only thing I can say is he wasn't dumped for the lead, but Data, he wanted a chance to have it, and he comes home 2nd. Mac will have to settle for 5th. Chase comes home 6th. Dan 7th. TXN 8th. CJ 9th, and New caps off just what was an odd day for him with 10th. Jacob 11th. And how about MP Racing with Jacob and Perry 12th and... or not Jacob, my mistake. Gino Kep and Perry 12th and 13th. Great runs for them. Dalton was off the pace all day. Not sure what happened to him. Sheldon, Preed, and Raven. Great days for 2 rookies. Cole as well, top 20. And Mike keep continuing to outrun his equipment. And then we get down here to the Lept car group and the DNFs. Nexus Code, Sup NASCAR. Just some guys struggled all day. Whitty fell back in the end. Some guys were damaged like Breck Blue. Redeem had some issues. And our 5 DNFs, Spend, Luke, Wolfie, Boca Blitz, and JJO had an issue early in the race. a lot of controversy, a lot of drama, and a big wreck here to cap off this race here. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talk after this recording ends, and a lot of post-race stuff that we will definitely talk about on social media. But Mac, any last thoughts before we go off air here today?
4 in a row for Sunbelt. They've blown away. That's all we got to add. That's 4th in a row.
And for all of us here in the Napa Sim booth, me and Mac here in the commentary booth, what a great race. Thank you guys for watching Texas for the Xfinity Series. Cup races next tomorrow. Thank you guys all for watching. Congratulations on Wayside for the win, and I will see you guys for the next race.